I'm gonna wear my glasses for this video. If the glare like obscures my eyes and you can't see me, just, you know, assume I'm still looking at you. I'm still looking, well, I'm not, I'm actually always looking at me. What is this video about? So this is the kind of video that I definitely should have planned or scripted or like had some sort of idea going in of what I'm trying to achieve, because I think I'm gonna have to splice it with clips from my computer, which, you know, I need to leave gaps and stuff to do that, but that's not me. I'm not a planner, so we're just gonna go with it and see what happens. But basically, if you make art and you get stuck at the ugly stage and you look at it and you think this looks shite and I hate it, this video is for you and also for me. It's kind of more like a reminder to me, but I'm also going to remind you too that there are a few things you can do to get past the ugly stage in your art. So the first thing that I like to do to get past that ugly stage is to just stop. Like, if you're looking at it and you're thinking, I'm so disheartened and this is so terrible that I don't see myself finishing this artwork today. It looks nothing like my vision in my head. Sometimes you just have to, like, I mean, not permanently, like, that's a different point in this video. Not like step away from it should have been the point title. That's what I'm gonna do for each point title. I'm gonna be like, and then have the word. Step away from it for a little bit. Go do something else. Go write a book really quick. Tend to your herb garden. Go fucking, I don't know, play video games, play board games, play mind games. Just go do something else. And then if you come back to it, like, you can give it hours, you can give it days. Although if you leave it too long, too many days, you might come back to it and think, I don't want to do this anymore, because that has spoken, you know, from personal experience. That has happened lots and lots of times where you step away from a piece and you think, okay, I'll come back to that. And then 5 days later, you look at it and you think, you know what, I'm better off starting again. I'm gonna get rid of this entirely. So if you do step away from it, make sure you know your own limits on how long you can step away from an art piece before you go back to it. Like, if you know that you can go back in a week and be like, yeah, I still like this, then, you know, great. But if you're the kind of person where you know that if you leave it more than 2 days, you're not coming back, make sure you get back to it before those 2 days are up. So yeah, I think what this does for me is that it just gives you that kind of time to see it in a different light when you get back to it. Like, you come back to the piece, you look at it and you think, all right, this was the bit I didn't like, but I'm newly motivated and, you know, I'm full of that inspiration with the original idea in my head that I, you know, had when I first started this. So now I can go back to it and I can just get over that idea in my head that it's ugly. I know what I saw and I know what I want to make from this. So I'm now ready to go in and just ignore how ugly it is and just push past it. So that's one. That's the first point. Step away from a little bit. That's point one. Just step away from it from a little. Oh my fucking god. Just step away from your art for a little bit and come back with a new set of eyes. Preferably still your eyes. If you have someone else's eyes that you found on the way there, that's not relevant to this point, but I guess congratulations on your other set of eyes. I feel like the glasses do a lot. My eyes look really small, which isn't a bad thing, but without my glasses right now, my eyes look funny. So I have to wear the glasses. Second point. The second thing you can do, that's only funny for British. The second thing you can do to get over the ugly stage in your art is to just focus on a different part of it. Like, it's kind of the same as the first point. It's a bit, they're all avoidant, really. None of these tips aren't. Maybe I'll have like one tip that's not avoidant, but yeah, basically if you're like working on a picture, like a portrait or whatever of something, and I really should have planned this, and you just don't like how the face is looking, you can't get the expression right, and it's just really irritating you that you can't get the face right, and you're like, it's so ugly, just do a different part of it. Like, just focus really hard on the hands. Really focus on the shading of the hands or the shape or, like, I don't know, the curves in like fabric or something. Just dedicate your mind somewhere else, because that way you'll still be like progressing on your drawing, but you won't be like working on the part that frustrates you. And if you're like me, where you work on like a 3000 times 3000 canvas, you've got lots of space to be doing other stuff. You know, there's lots of other parts of the picture you could be working on. So, and if you're also like me and you spend way too much time zoomed in, even though you know that you shouldn't be that zoomed in because it just kind of messes with your perception of the drawing as a whole, but you don't care, so you do it anyway. then you can spend so long zoomed in on one part of it, you can forget the face is even annoying you, you know? You'll be like, I'm loving how these hands are turning out, and it won't be until you zoom out again that you get jump scared by the face that you hated. And maybe by that point you would have reached such a state, like such a level of flow state from doing the hands, that the face will just be fucking easy. Like you'll easily overcome that kind of feeling of, the eyes don't look right, the expression's way off, the mouth is not doing what I want it to do. Because you're like, well, I don't, you know, I've already gotten into my zone somewhere else, and now I've got the energy, the inspirational, motivational juices all flowing. I'm ready to fucking boss this shit, and I can easily make the face look right. So do that. That's number 2. Just focus on something else. 3, third step of what you can do to get past the ugly stage in your art is, what you can do to get past the ugly stage in your art is you just gotta fucking do it. Like, that's probably absolutely shit advice, but yeah, you just have to do it. You have to realize that, you know, the only way you're gonna make this look how you saw it in your mind is to do it. And you kind of need to mind over matter that stuff. You just have to like realize that I saw this in the flames of my mind. I saw this come to life and it was gorgeous, and I know I've got the fundamental skill to make it happen. I know I can do it. So you just have to do it. You have to, like, even if you're struggling with that hand, and that hand is throwing hands, that hand has hands, and its hands are beating you up because you cannot draw the hand, you know, doing this. And you're like, why can't I draw? Like, this is so hard. Or like, I remember that was a thing. Like, there was like an artist challenge to draw your hand like that. I didn't partake. I should have. I still can. I'm not going to. This is really hard to draw. This is way more fun. Whenever I draw anything, I love making people go like this or like this. Just anything that makes like the fingers like spread out like that. That's a really fun hand to draw. Not like that. You know, like that just looks like a mess. You do this. I like to do it in school as a kid and freak people out, where you just like bend just the top part of your finger, and it makes your other, I can do it on most of my fingers, like just kind of gets rid of any of the threat behind the middle finger if it's kind of like doing that. I don't know, I think it's funny. Yes, when it's beating your ass, just be like, you know what, I can do this. I saw it in my head. I know what I want it to look like. I saw it. I know it's there. I can make it. And I've drawn hands like that before. I'm not bad at art. I might be out of practice, or I might be like having a bad art day, but I know I can do this. So you kind of have to just kind of do it. And that doesn't always work. That's why there's 4, maybe 5, like I said, I didn't plan this points in this video, you know? Sometimes that's not gonna work. You're gonna try and just power through it, and you'll be like, okay, I can't. And that's when you apply, you know, step 1 instead. You just step away for like 4 hours, and then you go back and you're like, all right, now I can do it. So yeah, number 3, I guess, is sometimes you just have to do it to do it. And that's not what anyone wants to hear. Everyone wants to like have a life hack for things and to be like, all right, this is, because that's what I'm like. I'll see a video that's like how to instantly, you know, improve your life in like 4 quick steps or whatever. And the steps will be like, you know, do things in your life. And I'm like, what? You want me to do things? I just wanted to watch this video and then have my life be better. What the fuck? So I'm sorry to anyone who didn't want to hear that, but I'm afraid sometimes to make your art less ugly, you have to keep adding to it. And there's always an ugly stage. Like the other day being today, I made this art piece, which I will show here. I was just gonna put both hands. This art, like, and that's kind of like the basis of the video, I think. Like, in my mind, I was going to be like, I'll make a video around me making this, but I don't think I'm the kind of person who can make a video, like, where it's me talking alongside, like, a time-lapse, or alongside me, like, a recording of me drawing. I think I get too distracted and it's too messy, so it has to be like this. So this was the drawing that I did, and, you know, I saw it in my head. I was in the bath listening to Florence and the Machine's new album, Everybody Scream, and I loved the imagery for Kraken so much. I was just like, I can see exactly how I want this to turn out. And you know, it didn't turn out perfect. I wanted the expression to be slightly different, but I went as far as I could. And I like how it came out in the end. I think it wasn't exactly what I saw, but it was pretty fucking close. So, but I struggled immensely. I think what I can do now, I'm hoping, is show you different stages throughout the process where I wanted to quit. Like here, or here, or here. I redid that face like so many times, all the details of it, because it just kept feeling wrong and it kept feeling off, and I didn't feel like I was in the best, like having the best art day. But I got through it, you know. I was just like, I want this to come to life. And you know what, when I did the sketch first on a different canvas, like a different file, and then I was struggling so much with just the sketch that I was like, you know what, I can't do this today, and I drew Brienne of Tarth instead. So now the file that I have is called Kraken, but it's a picture of Brienne. And then but the next day I was like, you know what, I saw it in my head. I was sitting in the bath by the candlelight with the like her aura filling my soul. Like I can see, you know, exactly what I want this to be. I need this to come to life. I'm doing my brain a disservice by not bringing this art into the world. So I need to make this or I will go insane. So I knuckled down, I made a new canvas, and I did a new sketch, and I was like, you know what, I really like the sketch. Here's the sketch. And yeah, I just got to it using my patented just draw over the sketch layer method, where I don't make a clean line art layer because line art hates me, and I am equally, I don't know, as ambivalent towards line art. I don't know if I'm using that word right. But yeah, I kept going, and I was like, you know what, it's I dig it. There's so many times during the piece that I was like, I want to give up, fuck this. But I also, a stronger feeling than that was the feeling that I wanted to complete it. I wanted to make this happen because I know I'm capable, you know. And I spoke about it in my other video, which I'm certain you've seen, about being like an artist and how I kind of felt not like an artist for a really long time because I didn't know what I wanted to make. So I kind of felt like, you know, when I was making this, I was like, I have to do this because I have to know what I want. How can I keep creating and keep being the artist that I want to be if I don't make the things I want to make as soon as I know? Because I think inspiration does strike rarely. It strikes me all the time in the bath or the shower. I think it's candles. So if you're feeling a bit like uninspired, just go take a candlelit bath and listen to some really good music. I feel like I see so much in my head that the candles make you feel so sexy and powerful that you just envision these scenarios that you're like, this is beautiful. I need to get this out of my head and onto the page because this is amazing. So do that. That's my my tip for art block in this tip for ugly stage art video. Go take a bath. So that was step 3, which yeah, 3, just do it. Sometimes you have to just do it. I'm sorry. I wish that I could tell you something more helpful than just do it, but I'm afraid sometimes you have to just do it. Number 4, I would say, is to go on Pinterest. And I know that like basically every artist uses Pinterest. Well, not every artist, but you know, Pinterest is I didn't get on the Pinterest like bandwagon for a very long time. I was like, I don't see the point. It's just Google Images, but like a different domain name. But eventually I was like, okay, I see the benefit now. I love Pinterest. I'm now a Pinterest girly, which is great. But yeah, if you're at a point in your art and you're looking at it and you're thinking, this is ugly as sin, I think go on Pinterest and have a look at all the artists, like just all the art that you really like. Like my main feed is now a mix of like really colourful art and pigeons and cool alternative girls, because that's apparently what I like to draw and what I keep pinning. So just like look for things that you like visually, like your favourite artists and stuff, and look at the kind of things they do. Don't copy their style exactly, like that's not what this tip is. It's just look at something that they've done, like a very specific thing. Like maybe, I don't know, they do like a really minimalist take on like faces or something, or maybe it's like they work with a very limited colour palette or something like that. And what I would say to do is make like a copy of the work you're doing and just try it in that kind of style. So like if you're at a point where you're, I don't know, you're doing your picture and nothing's coming together, the perspective is off, it's just ugly and you don't like it, then leave that piece, you know, copy it, make a new file, new art. So 2 of the same file, but one's the OG that you might go back to and 2 is the experimental piece. And just try and do it in someone else's style. Like you don't have to steal their style permanently, you know. You haven't even got to post it if you're scared of, like, you know, backlash or whatever, because I know people have very strong opinions about lots of things in the art world. But yeah, like, for your own sake, just experiment with a completely different kind of style. Just do, like, if you're like me and you're very averse to line art and you like to, like, the painting is your favorite bit, but you're struggling to do the painting, maybe you need to just try a version of it with, like, really intricate line art. I don't know, maybe it'll do something to, like, the juices in your brain. Maybe it'll be like, okay, this piece wasn't meant to look like that. It wasn't supposed to be a painty, colourful mess. This was one that required precision, which I hate when that happens because I'm not a very precise artist. I don't like being that precise. All the dainty, intricate bits of my art are the bits that I put off to the end. Like in this piece that I've been talking about, you know, the jewellery and stuff, like I was just like, ugh. Because you can't, I mean, you can make messy jewellery, but I like the way it looks when it's all, like, you know, tiny little, like, highlights and stuff to make the gems look shiny. So, you know, stuff I don't like doing in art, but I like the way it looks, so I have to just do it. Don't know where this point was going. Experimentation, just do it differently. Do it with kind of more set, like, boundaries, so you haven't got to think so hard, you know. Do the limited palette thing, do the line art thing, do the lineless thing. Do it if you're, like, very strict on your line art and your line art is, like, what you like to do but you can't do it and you're struggling really hard with it, then just try a version of it, you know, without line art. Try, like, a lineless painty version and see if that makes you feel any kind of way. And if it doesn't, I'm sorry. They're not all gonna be winners. That's the thing about art is, like, I got a new computer a few months ago, but before then I'd had the same computer since I was in first year uni, and I'm 27 now. I think in my other video I said I was 28. I'm not. I'm already forgetting how old I am. I'm 27. And so I had my old computer since I was from, like, 19 to 27, which, if you can do maths, it's 8 years. 8 years of files and stuff. And it's just, like, the amount of unfinished, barely started art files that I had on that computer was insane. There were so many things that were saved as, like, you know, and I open them up and it would be, like, a pink background with maybe, like, a red circle, like, you know, figure pose, like, and that's as far as I got, and I saved it and I abandoned it and I never went back for it. So you don't have to bring all your visions to life. Some of them can just be ideas in your head that you never get out. That might sound contrary, might sound contrary to what I was saying before about how you have to get your art out of your head, but you haven't got to get all your art out of your head. I think there's this process that only you can really know, where it's like, how badly do I want this to exist? Because for me, this picture, I really, really wanted it to exist. I was like, I really want this to be out there. I want to finish this one. And I think that's why I could finish it, because I had that want and that desire. And I'm not saying if you think you feel that way but you can't finish a piece that's like, oh, you didn't want it enough. Because sometimes it's like, human beings are incredibly complex. I feel like I'm not at war with my brain, but sometimes I see it as not me. And I wonder what me is, if I'm, like, my heart or my soul or whatever. But, like, if I get sick, I get really annoyed about my brain. Like, if I'm being forced to cough, sometimes I just hold my coughs in because, like, as an affront to my brain telling me to do that, which is stupid. I don't do it that much these days unless I'm really frustrated. Because at the end of the day, we're on the same team. Team Shana. That's me. I'm Shana. So why am I, like, fighting you? But yeah, the point of that is that even if you think you know how badly you want your art to be real, how much you want to make it, sometimes it's not clear until you try and make it. Like, I feel like you can just get this feeling that's kind of, you know what, actually, I don't really care that much about this one. I don't need it to exist. Like, if I had felt that about this picture, then, you know, it wouldn't have got finished. I would have gotten to this point and I would have given up. I would have been like, no, I don't want to make this happen. I don't think this is good enough. Like, I don't think the vision is good enough for me to put any more effort into it. So I guess it's just about knowing when something's worth finishing or not, which is funny because I think this was supposed to be, like, about Pinterest, which it was initially, but it kind of melted into 0.5, which was going to be, sometimes you have to just give up. Sometimes the ugly stage is too strong and it's just, you feel like you don't care enough about the piece to finish it. And that was the tip, but I really kind of talked about that. So yeah, I think that's kind of everything. I didn't mean to make this like a very in-depth video, and I don't think it is. It's just kind of like, I don't know, just me talking to you about the ugly stage in art. I would love to be the kind of person that can make a video, you know, going through like a step-by-step analysis of the art that I've made and said like, okay, this is what I did, but I'm just chatty. I just want to chat to you. What do you think of my orange slice on my sofa? I'm using it to make like a garland, not quite a garland, but like a hanging thing, which if I finish that before I post this video, or before I finish editing this video, I will show you. So yeah, I think honestly the main takeaway I would say from this video, if anything, like if you want to take something away, it's you just need to know in your heart if it's worth finishing. You know, if you get to a point in the art and you think, I'm really struggling with this, do I even care enough to finish it? Because if the answer is no, then like your gut instinct answer is no, then just move on to something amazing that you really want to make. Although, that being said, the cool thing about art is that everything you make adds like value to your life. Like whenever you're doing anything, you're always learning. If you finish something and you don't or if you don't finish something, you don't post it, it's just a file lost to your computer. That time is still valuable because you learned something. You either learned about what you wanted to draw, what you didn't want to draw. You learned about maybe a very specific thing you did in that drawing that you now are going to apply to other drawings, like, I don't know, a little signature thing. Like, I like to put sparkles on my artwork all the time, or just like a little like 4-pointed like diamond star. I love those. I think they're so cute, so I put them on everything mostly. But maybe you learned something like that when you were making your art. I don't know, but any time you spent making anything is never wasted time, so just remember that, because it's so important to just keep creating. Please, I'm begging you, just keep making. It's an interesting time to be a human being in the world right now, and I would just love for you to keep making things so that I can keep looking at them. It's a selfish request. Keep making so I can keep consuming. Give me your art. Give me it now. Thank you.